And we are live again.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. How
Hello.
are we?
Smashing.
Think we're good, mate. Yeah, banging. How the devil are you, Josh?
I'm devilly good, thank you.
It's so good that you're here. We just about scraped through last week. The guests were phenomenal, and me and Nick were a pair of tits, basically.
Well, I watched it back, obviously, and it was great. So there's nothing to worry about. Brilliant.
Oh, thank you, Captain. Well, we're glad you're back with us, Skip.
Yeah, there was a Josh-shaped hole the entire time, but it was an okay show. It was
That if I can just briefly digress, a Josh-shaped hole that reminds me of something.
I'd like to see a Josh-shaped hole. Something else.
I was in town walking down Hampton Street, and I was intercepted by a couple of young women trying to spread the Jehovah's Witness word, and I didn't want to do just the normal thing, so I thought, oh fuck it, I'll stop and have a chat. So I had a brief chat, and I sort of wanted to say to them, look, I don't believe in any of the gods. No offense, but thanks for the chat anyway. See you later. But I didn't know. I was like, oh no, I'm fine, thank you. I don't. I went, oh, yeah, and she said, yeah, I thought I was fine once too. And I was like, right, okay. Anyway, I had a really articulate argument in my head, but it just ended by me saying, look, you know, everyone's got problems, but I haven't got a God-shaped hole.
And that's where she said, I had a God-shaped hole, and it's full now.
Full of God.
In my head, it sounded great, and it was like it was going to be the final word, and I'd walk away all confident, and it just came out like fucking stupid.
Yeah, and that's why you weren't here last week, because you're arrested.
They're probably not used to zingers like that, though, Josh. So I think it was, I think that it landed.
Still can.
Yeah.
I think it landed.
Yeah. I mean, they're known for their sense of humour, so they were probably like, damn, he got us. He burnt us good.
Tough crowd.
I once passed some Manic Street Preachers on a particularly hungover Sunday morning, and they were like, have you got a few seconds for Jesus? And I said, he doesn't exist, so I've got no seconds for Jesus.
Yeah.
And the guy looked absolutely crestfallen, like I'd just given him the truth.
Oh yeah,
and he'd wasted his life.
Yeah, I once had. I like the fact that you two have had those experiences. I once had a guy stop me, talk to me, and then he walked away because I was talking to him so much. Yeah. So I managed to somehow get the topic away from the God, like what he was trying to sell me. And I don't even remember. I think I moved it onto like films or something. And after 20 minutes, he'd had enough and was like, "Look, I've got to get on." And I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, see you, mate." Like, but yeah, I was like, "Did it?"
Did you start banging on about Star Wars? And he just went, "Oh."
I think it was that. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think it was that. I've had to check myself a couple of times on that subject. Anyone out there? What do you think of the new Star Wars? No, anyway, I'm not even getting into it. So,
don't care.
Don't care. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay then. Well, I've had obviously not being here last week, but this week I've had a fairly productive week. I think obviously still not working, but trying to keep busy and do new things. And yeah, it's an easy time for me. I'm lucky. What about you boys? Are you you're still at work? I take it, Nick.
I am. Yeah. It's same old for me, really. Again, I mean, I say it every week, but I'm happy to be working, taking my mind off of the boredom. We've had some new people start at work, which has been even more interesting. They're getting on really well. So yeah, I can't complain about anything at all, really. I'm still pretty lucky to be kept busy every day.
Nice. Andy?
Yeah, not a lot, mate. Just this and that. Today I went for a run and a walk, so thanks Boris.
Yeah,
because now I'm allowed out unlimited amount of time from my home. So I went for a run this morning, and then I was like, I went for a walk later in the afternoon. Regretted the walk because it was so windy and cold. I didn't really notice. But yeah, just been trying to do so. I've been forcing myself to read because that's one thing that I don't do enough of. So I'm reading The Lord of the Rings, which after about a chapter I instantly regretted. But my late uncle, it was his copy, and my mum was like, "Oh, do you want this?" And I was like, "Yeah." You know, I did that whole like sentimental thing, like, "Yes, I will." Yeah, that was my uncle's and stuff, and I was like, "I'm gonna read The Lord of the Rings."
Oh no!
Quickly.
Oh, there we
You,
go.
you froze
sort
for
of
a while
disappeared
there,
there for a second.
Yeah.
Quite quickly, I've realised that my uncle's probably never read Lord of the Rings, the copy of his own book. So, yeah, I'm instantly regretting that. But I am reading, and I do have it to hand, which is quite nice. I got it free from someone. The Last 100 Days of JFK. Interesting read for you. Yeah, interesting read. So, don't want to spoil the ending, but it's a twist. A real twist in that one.
Well,
you know.
maybe you can give us a review when you've finished it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. It will, by the way, it will be a couple of years. So yeah,
yeah, it's quite an undertaking.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I had a week off, but it feels like I've never left, boys.
Hey,
Well, there you go, mate. There you go. Was it anywhere nice? Was it a nice holiday?
have a nice week off.
just went to the chalet for the weekend. Let's have a beer, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I'm drinking some High Wire West Coast Pale.
it's a good one. It's a good one.
I am. Well, as you know, last week I talked about the beers that I bought from Lidl. So I risked it all again, and I'm drinking a little beer. So we'll see what this one's like. The last one was banging. So this is a Small Giant American Pale Ale. I am prepared for it to be terrible, but we'll see. 4.5%, and it is from Stuart Brewing.
Oh,
See what you got, Stuart. Speaking of beer, actually, another thing. Nick, talk about your drink, but there is a YouTube channel I want to point out to everyone in a minute. So you go ahead, Nick, and let us know what you're drinking.
Sure. Yeah, I'm on the wine again. I'm on white wine. I like to choose wines, as you all know, that are the cheapest. But this week, I found one in my nearest shop that is usually reserved for Marks and Spencer's. So I felt like the classiness had been brought to me.
Mm.
And in the description, it does say elegant and assertive. So
Again,
two things that describe me all the time. Yeah,
I'd say you're very assertive.
Yeah, that's my middle name.
If you tell me to do something, I'll probably do it. That's not a challenge, by the way.
Okay, tell us about the beer channel.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done, mate. God.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that residual, like, we have to be Josh from last week. Well done. We have to be as professional as Josh.
Yeah.
Right.
Get our neat segues in.
Cheers, boys. Sorry, cheers.
Cheers. Sorry, yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Welcome back, Josh. Welcome, everyone. Let us know in the chats what you're drinking, please.
Yeah.
Hit us up. Yeah. Let's see what's going on out there. So that beer, if you watch the highlights or the show last week, you'll see that I was literally drinking it and I was literally to myself because it was so nice. So I did something I don't normally do. Googled it, scoured the internet to see what was out there, and I found a man who'd reviewed it on his channel, and I even commented on his video to say, wow, I had the same experience. I then dived a bit deeper into his channel. The channel is called, sorry, I do have it here, Real Ale Craft Beer. And it's a guy, his name escapes me. He's from the UK. Now, the interesting part about his channel, not only does he review beers, and he's been reviewing the Lidl beers, so I've been kind of interested. He reviews a lot of things from British institutes. So at the minute, he's reviewing the Iceland Bake at Home Greggs range. So far, he's reviewed the sausage rolls. Yesterday, he reviews the sausage and bean slices. There's also a video called New Edam Cheese versus Old Edam Cheese. So he has one that's slightly out of date and one that's new. So there's another genius video for you. And probably my personal favorite video is he buys the Aldi barbecue pizza oven and makes his first pizza.
Wow.
Real Ale Craft Beer. He also does Who's Having a Beer with Me, a bit like us, where he does 4-hour live streams of him drinking a beer in his kitchen.
Fucking
And
hell.
he's
Just to see how
named
pissed he gets.
Yeah, he's named his pub the Stoned Crow. So check him out. Real Ale Craft Beer. It's a real interesting YouTube channel. But me and Nick were talking about it, and it led me and Nick to be reminded of one of our favorite YouTube channels. But I'll let you explain, Nick, because you introduced me to it.
Yeah, we briefly touched on it. Did we touch on it last week during the
No, we didn't
Wednesday
talk about it
stream, or
much.
was it
We-
just
I
when we were
think maybe-
drunk watching Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap. I think we talked about it then.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Kay's Good Cooking is the channel. It is so good. It cannot be understated how brilliant it is. So it's this random northern woman that makes like the most basic dinners, but she doesn't like a lot of foods, and her son who lives with her doesn't like a lot of foods, so she makes a lasagna with no cheese. So no creamy sauce, no
Yeah.
cheese on the top. She cooks the mince dry, adds a tin of chopped tomatoes, and then puts the layers of pasta in it. That's it.
Shit.
That's
Yeah.
it. So it's a total disaster. But
Yeah.
you have to watch the channel. There's loads of them because she makes loads of basic stuff like beans on toast and fried eggs and stuff, and it's very very fun.
Crisp sandwich. Crisp sandwich is a real show. I'll be honest. And my
that's a good
personal
episode.
favorite is bacon and egg sandwich. Where what Nick hasn't let in on is like the woman's voice, and also the fact that she exclusively wears Iron Maiden t-shirts. By the
Yeah,
looks
she
of it,
does.
well,
Yeah, I forgot about
just
that. Yeah.
Iron Maiden shirts. And the one my favorite bacon and egg sandwich, she's like making this bacon egg sandwich, and she's cooking like 6 eggs, and she goes, not all the eggs are for me and the sandwiches. I'm going to give 4 of the dog. Yeah, so Kay's Good Cooking is primo entertainment.
Yeah, it's very very good. It's very endearing. She seems like such a lovely lovely woman, but just a fucking shit cook.
Very
Yeah.
shit cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was on they had her on Harry Hill's TV Burp or something like that, one of those Harry Hill shows. Someone had her on and they were like, look, this is Kay's Good Cooking, and they showed the one where she was trying to make pasties and stuff. So brutal.
Yeah, so I mean, before we get our first guest on, we have got a couple of questions in the chat.
Yeah, we've got a lot of alcohol being consumed as well, which I like.
Yeah.
Tim's drinking Northern Monk. See, I know Tim Astrup has drunk Northern Monk before, whereas last week
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, he drank this before.
He's definitely done it
Aaron's
before.
got one of those Kona Honolulu IPAs, which are
It's
delicious.
Hanalei, Andy.
Hanalei. Oh yeah, of course it is. Sorry, I just defaulted. I was like Hawaii, Honolulu. Like, my brain filled in the rest.
Yeah. And the other one I think is directed at you, Andy. About he was watching. Chris Serbin was watching our sister movie show. We'll call it the sister movie show. Where you mentioned that you didn't much like Led Zeppelin or the Beatles. So can everyone just get on Andy and be like, why you?
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because I've got ears, mate.
Because you like to be different. Because you think you're a hipster.
Not at all.
Good music is good music.
I
Led
think
Zeppelin
you'll
and the Beatles are
find,
good.
before everyone jumps on me, I didn't say they were bad. I just said I didn't like them. I didn't grow up listening to them. So before everyone goes crazy, and people are asking where are my shutters, well, they'll be back in a minute. I thought I'd try a new location. Apparently, it's not going down very well from a technical standpoint and from a fan standpoint. So I'll go and move in a minute.
Literally, as you were saying that, the internet lagged.
Oh, fuck. So when we get our guests out, I'll come. But no, I don't not like them. I just didn't grow up listening to them. So yeah.
Fair enough. I didn't grow up listening to Led Zeppelin either, but I still think they're fucking great.
Yeah, call a cop. I don't know.
I will.
Which one?
Hello, is that the cops? Yeah, my friend doesn't like Led Zeppelin. Yeah, arrest him post haste.
We got a question for Nick actually, and Josh is going to like this one. Nick, we're wearing matching t-shirts. Where did you get your t-shirt from, Nick? What is that t-shirt?
This T-shirt is
That's from Character Building. You know who you are.
from the best rehearsal studio in the fucking world.
You
And
got.
what
I've
is
been
that?
to
Come
some
on.
great ones. It is Audio Works, and they were order only, weren't they, Josh? So if you haven't got one, you missed out.
Yeah, pre-order only, and there won't be any more. So that's it.
But didn't you put something up
I'm
earlier?
cooler
Josh?
than you.
Didn't you put something up earlier about merch?
Yeah.
I'm doing some Northampton-based merch, so not necessarily to do with Audio Works, but it will be to do with Northampton. That's all I'm going to say so far.
Do you know what you should do? I got off Wish, and I was really gutted about it. Anyone out there who's used Wish will know exactly what I'm talking about. Where I ordered a T-shirt that was a black T-shirt that had a little cat in the pocket, and when you pulled the pocket down, the cat was doing middle fingers. I was like, wicked. Double XL, I'm a big boy, ordered it. It took 7 weeks for it to arrive. When it showed up, it was a child's double XL, which I didn't even know existed. So I happily unwrapped it. It literally just squeezed over my head. I was like, oh, it's a bit tight. And then it like came to about here. And anyway, I was devastated that I'd waited. It cost nothing. But what you should do is you should do one of those T-shirts, Josh. You can have this design for free, where it's the top of the lift tower poking out the pocket. And when you pull it down, I don't know, there's a funny scene at the bottom. Maybe the creepy clown that used to lurk around Northampton or something.
50p a little out of their piss.
Just an idea. Yeah. Or like the bus station. You whip it down, it's the bus station or something. There you go.
Apparently the brand is called Rip and Dip with the cat and the middle finger.
It wasn't an official Rip and Dip, that's why.
It was a knockoff.
It was one of those, you know, the cats that you've got at the studio, Josh, the waving cats.
Yeah, Maneki Neko, I think they're called.
Yeah, it was one of those, but doing a middle finger. And anyway, it was a child's double XL. So. Wish is hell.
Wish, everyone.
Wish is hell, Aaron. Yeah,
I think most people know. I think most people know not to buy things off Wish, but learn from Andy's mistake as well if you haven't.
Yeah, Emma said she forgot about the clown. It's because I was talking about it with a friend of mine who doesn't live in Northampton the other day. We were talking about the clown who terrorized Northampton for a summer. If people out there remember that, like, I remember someone being like, it's an escaped sex offender. And I was like, why would he dress up like a clown? And how do you know that? And then I think the favourite one I ever saw was I was sitting in Tea and Two Sugars. Is it that cafe that's at the top of Tea and Two Sugars? I was sat in there and someone was reading the paper. I was meeting a friend of mine, and on the front cover was the Sun, and it was a picture of the clown, and it was like, Northampton clown, who is it? It was so weird that it was on the front, and this guy's reading it, and the waitress comes walking around. She said, yeah, they've got the police out looking for him. And I'm not normally one to pipe up in public. Like that is where I don't know anyone. And I just turned to her and said, sorry, the police are out hunting him. Why? And she was like, well, you know, he's scaring people. She was convinced there was a task force in Northampton who were hunting the Northampton clown. And was telling me, yeah, it's happening. So, you know, I was like, great. Hope they catch it.
I'm sure a few children's parties got done necessarily as well doing that.
Probably.
Yeah. So we are banging on a bit, and I'm sure there's some more interesting people that can be added to the smorgasbord of and social.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this week's first guest. I've been fortunate enough to know of him for about 20 years. I say know of him because he wasn't a friend to begin with, and if he's not a friend now, then we're going to kick him out of the fucking chat. So, ladies and gentlemen, your favourite hairdresser, businessman, screenwriter, and all-round top dude, Jason Lahat.
Whee! Claps in the chat, please.
Hello.
Hello,
guys.
Hello.
How's it going?
Excellent.
Real
Thank you. You good?
Real good.
Good. I've been really, really looking forward to this, by the way. Just thought I'd put that out there straight away.
Lovely stuff. I'm going to be really rude for a second. We're getting a lot of complaints that my stream is crap and people don't like my new background. So, Nick, can I ask you to shove me backstage and I'll go and move locations to please the people?
It would be a pleasure.
I'm bowing.
See you, mate. I think he was about to say something, so that was really rude. Sorry.
Oh,
So
I shouldn't take offence to that, obviously, should I?
no, not at all.
No,
not at all.
not at all.
So, Jason, you own and run Hattbox Hairdressing on
Yeah.
Kettering Road.
Correct.
And it's shut, much like a lot of other businesses at the moment. So how are you coping? What are you doing?
Well, coping very well, thank you. Furloughed.
Yeah.
Should be actually being paid this week for, I think, self-employed are getting sorted out this week. The decision to obviously close up the business was hard. I did put out a message that was very heartfelt, which took a couple of recordings. But I think the first couple were too emotional, let's put it that way, to sort of post. I just felt like it was a bit too raw for me. And then sort of finally sort of hit on the right one, I think. We had the girls in the background, and yeah, it was hard. It was hard, but obviously the furlough side of it had made the decision easy. And well, we didn't really have to make a decision, to be honest. I mean, it was policy, wasn't it? We had to close. But I think on that Saturday that we finally shut, I don't think that the lockdown was actually fully in place at that time. So, you know, but I think it was like literally the week later, that Monday, it came into existence. So, but yeah, no, I mean, like, I'm loving it. You know, obviously, apart from like all the shit stuff, mate. I tell you, it's like the first. I mean, I haven't not worked since I was 16. So
yeah,
I've just
Which is
been one
about
of those
3
people
years,
who's
right?
always worked. You know? Yeah, basically. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
knew I was gonna feel good coming on here, but no, it was like yeah, not having worked. I mean, I've worked since I was 16 and really like have actually, you know, hardly ever had time off. I mean, even since I've had the business, I don't really have that much time off. But so to me, it's been a bit of a nice break. Also, I'm getting a lot of time to spend with my girls, educating my youngest, Estelle, probably very badly, but there you go. But yeah, no, it's good. How are you guys? I mean, like, Josh, sorry, but the hair, I've got to mention the hair. I bet you've been worried about that, haven't you?
It's,
But,
I can tell you're the last person that cut my hair when that was two
yeah.
years ago. So I'm just waiting for you to go. I'm not bothered enough to do anything about it myself.
No.
But I think Olga might have a different opinion. So I might have to have a trim if you're not open soon enough. But you announced today that you're opening up again.
Well, yeah. Well, so just quickly on the hair front, you're not getting away with it that easy. Nice try. Nice try. So we've sort of over the years, sort of, because I think when you first sort of started coming to the salon, or when I first met you, your hair was pretty long then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like we've always sort of discussed growing it, and now you've had to grow it. So
there you go.
You're there. What do you think you'll do?
I don't know. It's not terrible. I don't know. I'm lazy when it comes to my hair, so I always tend to just have it cut short.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep going forever.
Yeah, man. I think it's looking good.
What are you doing? I mean, it's obviously probably not an issue for you, but you grow an inch of beard a day, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've actually trimmed this today.
Okay.
I really regret it now. I'm looking at yours, but yeah. But so yeah, it's been good. It's been good. You know,
you've been keeping yourself very busy though with some extracurricular activities, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, weirdly enough, when the first week of lockdown, I thought, right, well, as Josh knows, I've been trying to sort of push into sort of screenwriting and things like that. And I've spent like the last few years trying to sort of learn that and writing scripts and things. So the first week I thought, wow, this is going to be great because, you know, I've got all the time I need now to just write. But obviously I've got Estelle, who's 7. I've got an older daughter, Izzy, who's 18. But I mean, she's just sort of most of the time in her bedroom. She can probably hear me now. She's just above me. But it's sort of, I had Estelle opposite me, and sort of every sort of like couple of minutes, she's asking me questions, and I'm sitting here on my laptop trying to knock out, like, you know, the next Game of Thrones. And I'm thinking, no, this is just not going to happen. This is not going to happen. So I just closed the laptop, and that was it. I haven't written a word since. But what I have discovered is that I can draw.
Wee.
So I've spent a lot of time, a hell of a lot of time drawing.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about drawing curtains, are we?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a zinger. Thank you.
Oh.
Constant chat, please. Dad joke. Dad joke. I am a dad, so.
Well done.
Yeah, I mean, that went out of my head. I should have known better. So I have got a couple of my drawings on standby if you guys will allow me to show them.
Hell yeah.
Please.
Okay, I've got about 6, so
No, you can do 4.
Oh, such a hard
You can do as many as you want.
Right, so first of all, I'd just like to put it into perspective. So I've never ever drawn. So I was really, really surprised to find out that I am very, very talented at drawing. So the first one, let me just...
If the first one is the set of curtains, I'm going to be so happy.
I know, God damn it. So the first one is it's called Flowers Table Vase.
Yeah. I think the labelling, that's what does it. That's what tips it over into sort of talented professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I like to title all my pictures. That's the first one. Then I did what I'd like to call selfie portrait.
That is great.
Incredible.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's actually on a phone as well. The actual selfie
phone, yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
I like the beard better in that than I do on myself. This one I like to call Legs Akimbo.
Lovely.
And if I do a little close up, I've actually put my where's the camera on this? My really big second toe.
Yeah.
Has anyone else got a really big second toe?
A friend of mine has, and someone said it's a sign of intelligence.
That's yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
it's just making me feel comfortable, Jason. No one has that. It's just you, mate.
Sorry, dude. In the movie Waterworld, you would have been ousted by now. Yeah, they would have been like, mutation!
I really like that movie. I've only got a few more, and then we'll be finished. So, tribute to the Titanic, the movie.
Oh, beautiful.
That's better than the real drawing in the film.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's
Draw me like one of your Northampton girls.
Yeah. And once I drew that, I had an idea to draw my bush. So there's my bush.
Oh,
beautiful.
Is that a cock or what sort of bird is that?
It's just a little bird.
Just a little bird on
my
my bush.
Next one there, Josh. So then after I drew that, Josh, I drew my other bush.
Oh.
It looks like a mushroom cloud.
This is the kind of smut I'm here for, Jason. Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, do they still make Viz or?
I hope they're watching this, because you know.
You're going to get snapped up.
I'm going to jump in and out again because I can't hear Josh, and everyone else can. It's that classic of like Josh is speaking, then everyone goes. So yeah, I'll be back in a sec. I'm not having a good time tonight. Bye.
I'm thrilled you've discovered a new talent. I mean, he can draw, he can write, he can run a business, he can create amazing creations on people's heads.
You can DJ as well, because that's the first time. The first time I met him, it was when he was DJing.
Black Cat Found.
Yeah.
Black Cat Found. Yeah.
We need to do a reunion of Black Cat Found when lockdown's over.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, Dixie, who was, you know, one of the guys, he lives in New York now.
We'll have to fly him over.
Yeah, we'll fly him over, and then Paul will probably do it. But to be honest, like, they're obviously jokes. I have actually spent a lot of time properly drawing. I've really, really got into it. But the ones that I really have seriously spent some time on, I'll be way too embarrassed to show you.
Oh, I don't know. I
You
tell
know.
you, the drawings are getting some love. We've got
It's a very accepting
really?
audience.
What a Hero. Yeah, amazing. Masterpiece has
Oh.
been battered around in the chat. So
Who's put
You know?
that? Because they're getting a free haircut.
Tim Astrop.
Not Josh.
Yeah. Hey, Candy, you could have said it was me.
The right Astrop. Have you, I don't know if
Right.
all my jumping in and out, if you've had the black market haircut conversation yet.
No.
No, not yet. Not yet.
No.
We left that
Well,
for you, mate.
I was saying, Jason, how I was talking to a friend of mine on Zoom, and the next week he had really good hair, and I was like, "Oh, dude, like, did you do it yourself, or And he said, "Nah, I'm not going to say his name, but he went, I got a black market haircut," and I was like, "Black market haircut?" He's like,
Yeah.
Can't really talk about it.
There's
So,
someone in a back alleyway with a coat hanger.
yeah, have you
Oh, that was
have
a
you been
dark joke.
asked
Sorry,
for any
guys.
black market haircuts, or B, is there some weird like Fight Club underground scene of
There
haircuts?
there probably is. I mean, I'll be honest. I'd say the first week, Josh was like literally texting me every day to get his hair cut, but I obviously kept knocking him back. But no, seriously, I did get a few messages, not really from girls, mainly from guys. I think the guys are much more desperate than the women, which I found like really surprising. But after I sort of said no, a couple of times, I think people really realised what the situation was all about. Then,
Yeah,
I think like at that time, I think people were still thinking, funny enough, on the last Saturday. Two quick things. The last Saturday, a guy whose hair I've cut for a long, long time, who is a business owner in the town, I said, "This is our last day." He was like practically my last client. I said, "This is our last day," and he literally turned to me and went, "Why?" Like that. And I said, "Because you know what's going on, don't you?
People are dying.
Yeah, you're not taking that seriously." I was like, "Yeah." In fact, I rang him the other day and I said, "Do you remember what your last words to me were on that Saturday?" I said, "Do you know what I mean?" It's like, and look what happened after that. And then
Did he leave with half a haircut?
Pardon?
Did he leave with half a haircut?
He should have done. And then I had a chat. We had a chat around the other day, plumber, because we had a problem with our windows. No, and he had his hair cut really fresh, but it was badly cut. So I did say to him, "Have you cut your own hair?" And he was like, "No, my mate's a barber." And I was like, "Whoa!" Didn't want to say any more about that.
Okay.
I just washed out and opted for I just shaved mine. I just couldn't be bothered, so I just whipped it off. But the good news is I work for a hat company, so I'm not short of coverage if it was going to be really bad. Yeah.
Which one?
I'll tell you after the show. No, I work for New Era Capco, so I work for New Era. So hence why I always wear New Era stuff. So
It's a cool job.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah. Do you know what? In
He's the janitor.
Years, I've never heard anybody have that job. Brilliant job.
Well, the funny thing is, my friend Meg works there, friend of the show, first episode, and Meg actually helped me get the job there. So yeah, it's two Northampton people. Yeah, two Northampton people there. Well, there's a bunch of Northampton people there, but two in particular.
Yeah.
That we all
I'm going
know.
to be racking my brains now because I remember I said that to somebody recently in the salon that they told me what they did for a living, and I couldn't get over it. It was the first time I thought that's the first time I've ever heard that in 30 years. I'll have to try and remember what that was.
What's the weirdest request you've ever had for a haircut? Like, what's the strangest thing anyone's ever asked you for?
When I walked in and said, "Make me look good."
Do you remember, Nick, when I cut all your hair off? That was going back 3 years, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was shoulder length. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the last
looked
time you
good.
came in.
It looked good for a while. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't really have a story sort of regarding myself, but I do remember, and he probably won't be watching this, but my old salon where I used to work, I remember once my old boss was doing a haircut in the salon, and the rest of us were sort of in the staff room, but looking out and sort of like, because if you work in hairdressers, you can be sort of not in the area, but still seeing what's going on through all the mirrors, you know. So you look into that mirror and then see into that mirror, you can see what's going on sort of almost like around the back of the salon. And we were all watching him do this haircut, and he'd done this really weird thing on this young lad. I felt so sorry for him, but he'd done his hair really short, but it just kind of like, he said, I've got a really good idea, you know, and he left in this really long bit, like it was kind of just like really long and on its own. And I was like saying to the girls, like, if I ever do that, tell me, because it's time to stop. And I've got to give up hairdressing at that moment. And I've, you know, that's the sort of thing that when you sort of get older, I think you kind of perhaps don't realise that you could be gone past it in a way. You know, and I felt like that was what was going on. You know, I was actually witnessing it for myself.
Have you?
I always say to them, if you ever see me do something that looks just totally, you know, totally fucked up, just tell me.
Have you ever seen that haircut? I've seen it in real life 3 or 4 times where people have their hair cut so it looks like a lizard is sat on the top of their head. Have you ever seen that? And so they have a ponytail that's the lizard's tail. Then they have all their hair shaved, so it literally looks like a lizard hanging onto the top of their head. And I've seen that in real life three at least, maybe 4 times.
Oh, yeah, that's our specialty, that one. Yeah. What you're having next, that, Josh?
The Hattbox lizard.
A gecko.
Well, I didn't need to talk to you about that, but yeah. Right. Anyway, enough of that. Let's have some music from. I mean, you briefly mentioned Meg a little while ago. You work with her, Andy, and she's in a band. She's been on this show, but she's in a band called Sarpa Salpa. That is fronted by the wonderful Marcus Maruth.
Yay! Claps to the chat for Marcus.
How are you guys doing?
He seems really far away, but he's just that small.
It's got a little fisheye lens on it.
Hey,
How are you doing, man?
Looks good.
Yeah, I'm all good. I actually wondered what you thought of my haircut. I did it myself.
Well, I tell you what, from where I'm sitting, that's the kind of I like that. Yeah.
I went pink, blonde, and short because it was brown long. So
Love it.
why not? All right, some tunes for you guys. That's why I'm here.
Well. Let's.
Hang on, whoa.
Whoa, all right.
We want to know how you are first.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, wicked. No,
More qualities than just music.
what's going on in the world?
What? How are you, man? What have you been doing? What's your work situation? What's going on?
Well, actually, I've been learning to draw as well. Like genuinely.
Nice.
We're all kind of the same thing, aren't we? We're watching till our eyes bleed, and then we're like, right, there must be something I can learn. I bought a flute. I haven't touched that really, to be honest. Yeah, and drawing. Other than that, just writing some tunes. It's been good to kind of be a musician in these times. The fact half the industry's dissolved.
Yeah, it's not a good time to be making money as a musician, but really,
Correct.
is there ever a good time to be making
It's good to
money
have
as a
fun.
Yeah. Just having the time to be creative is always nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really
If you
nice.
feel that way inclined, because I've done
Not
nothing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. How many?
I've had big
So
surgery.
his next question is, how many songs have you written?
And how many can I have?
Half actually, half of a song. Didn't like the rest, so deleted it.
I'll have the first verse.
That's the best bit.
Meg was saying when she was on that, if I remember rightly, that this whole lockdown business has obviously significantly interrupted your touring and gigging schedule, and there were some, amazing gigs on that lineup. So yeah, how has that been? I mean, obviously that sucked, but yeah, how have you dealt with that really?
Well, in a way, we were always complaining when we were going, like, we'd have to be at work like 8 in the morning, and it was an hour drive, and I used to have to pick up Charlie as well because we worked together. So my journey to work was like an hour and 15, hour and a half, and then working a long shift, hour and a half. And then it'd be like, right, we've got 10 minutes to grab all of the stuff and then drive to wherever, Scunthorpe or somewhere stupid and far away. And it was that every like Friday, Saturday. And then sometimes the manager would book us like in a row, and we were like, and it was knackering. But like when you actually get on stage and you perform, that's obviously the best part. And it's like, yeah, that was so worth it. Or like if you have a bad show, then it's even worse. You're like, can't believe I'm down here at this stupid time. I got work in an hour. So it's actually
the adrenaline kicks in, doesn't it? And
it does. Yeah, it does. It's really good. But like having no gigs was the dream. And then you get no gigs, and you're like, oh, playing every day. Like, you can't win with people like me. So I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time.
So would you say as a musician now, you prefer the songwriting and recording element to the gigging element of being in a band?
I suppose it's like when you get a new song and you go and play it for the first few shows, like for the first time, and they react to it. That's a golden moment. Obviously, She Never Lies is a song that a lot of people often say to us, oh, I like that one. That one's a good one, and so on. But that song we've been playing since the very first gig. We've played it at every single show we've ever played. So now I'm just like, oh.
Play the hits.
Yeah. It depends how the crowd's going.
One song.
If play that song one again. Okay. It's good sometimes when the crowd hear the first chord of it or something, and they're like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, okay, I'm feeling it now because you actually want it. But whereas in my head, I just don't anymore. But no, I still like these songs, and it's nice. But I'd say the best part is playing new tracks out there. But I just love the studio. I've got into kind of demoing myself and like just spending. I think I go to bed on average at about 4 a.m. in this lockdown. It's getting a bit out of hand now. I've almost done a 24-hour loop just to fill my sleeping pattern by an hour.
You've gone full nocturnal.
Nocturnal.
You're basically a badger.
What you said? Did you say nocturnal?
Did you say nocturnal?
I didn't. I said nocturnal, but
nocturnal, man.
Wow,
I'm getting the point.
Put the fucking trademark on that.
Yeah. And then social,
baby.
We've copyrighted that. Anyone in the chat, Nocturnal, that's ours.
Yeah.
Episode 7. Yeah, that was one with me in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. On that bombshell, should we hear a first song?
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. I've literally just 1 week away from you, and I've just taken over completely.
I know.
I'm just going to mute my mic and have a beer. You ready?
Yeah, he's been messing with my internet as well. I've been trying to help Josh out, and then my internet keeps going out. It's Nick. I know he's there controlling it somehow.
Fucking fine.
The master of puppets.
A series of coups that's going on here.
Yeah. Well, play a song if you want. Josh, do you want him to play a song?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, cool. Well, the stage is yours then, Marcus.
Stay in chat.
What are you going to play for us?
Bags by Claro. I think it's Claro or Claro. She shouldn't have such a stupid name, to be honest.
Claro.
Claro. There you go.
Biffy Claro.
Not Biffy Claro.
Cool. Stage is yours.
Thank you. Every second counts. I don't want to talk to you anymore. For these little games, you can call me by the name I gave you yesterday. Every minute counts. I don't want to watch TV anymore. Can you figure me out? Just don't waste more time on the couch. Can you see me? I'm waiting for the right time. I can read you, but if you want the pleasure's over mine. Can you see me using everything to hold back? I guess this could be worse. Walking out the door with you by. 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 Pour you a glass of wine. Mitchell told me I should be just fine. Yeah. Cases under the bed, split it open, let it rush to my head. I don't wanna be a forward, I don't wanna cut corners, savor everything I have inside of me. What's the rush? I'm not the type to run, but what's the rush? Kissing when my cheeks are so flushed. Tell you how I felt, sugarcoat melting in your mouth. Part of my emotions, I probably keep it all to myself. You make fun of me. No, you make fun of me. You make fun of me. No, you make fun of me. Can you see me waiting for the right time? Can't read you, but if you want the pleasures all mine. Can you see me using everything to hold back? Guess this could be worse. Walking out the door with your bags. 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 Don't walk anywhere. Don't go out. Corona's still out there.
Woohoo!
Thanks, man.
Claps in the chat.
Nice
Nice.
work, buddy.
You should get
Love
that on
that
a
voice.
t-shirt for the NN Social. Claps on the chat. I like that. It's a good
Chat.
tagline.
Yeah, where did that come from, Andy?
I
You
don't
started
actually
this
know.
craze.
Yeah, it just sort of. I think we just popped it out naturally. I don't get. Yeah, just
Popped
think
it
came
out.
from anywhere. I think because there's I think there's an internet meme, and Marcus is a bit of a memeologist. I think there's an internet meme of or something where it's like F's in the chat. So I think I probably just said that and then maybe said F's in the chat and then said claps in the chat. So yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Jason. I just saw you pouring what looked like a glass of wine. Marcus and Jason, what are you drinking, if anything?
I'm drinking Strongbow.
Dark fruit. Is that dark fruit?
It's so basic.
Oh my god!
That's it. Get it out. Get it out your system.
I'm
Can I go
drinking
Sling a few more in.
beefsteak Malbec.
Oh,
Hey, that's a good one.
It
That's a
tastes
good
like
one.
beef.
I like that.
Yeah, I just said to Charlotte, can you get me a bottle of Malbec? That's what she came back with. And it's quite nice. But it is a bit heady. I do actually get, I do wake up with a bit of a headache after one glass. So
I'd wake up with a headache after about one sip of the red wine.
Yeah. Is that the sign of a good red wine? A headache?
I don't know.
Yes.
But tonight, I thought, well, I'll have a couple of glasses while I'm on this. So I don't know what I'm going to be like tomorrow. But I do have the lay in tomorrow. So
Hey, yeah.
I want to see what pictures you draw tomorrow.
oh yeah.
Black. As a professional drinker, I just pop a couple of ibuprofen before I go to bed and wake up right
So
as
I'll
rain.
do that tonight.
Plenty of water as well.
Yeah.
There you go. Health tips
I've never
from
heard that.
Nicholas Gray.
I've never heard that before. Wow. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you come up with
before
that?
go to bed. Yeah.
Well, it stopped me getting hangovers. It might not work for everyone.
Disclaimer, like it.
Yeah.
sorry.
I just made a note of something that you said really early, and I just wanted to get it out there before I forget. It was going back to, if you don't mind, if I just quickly bring it back to when you said you had that encounter with the religious person.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I
glad
just
you
jotted
have.
down what because you said what he said, and I thought, oh, you could have said, I've got 99 problems, but a God-shaped hole isn't one.
I think they'd have got that reference.
Yeah.
Probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he'd gone 99 problems and a God-shaped hole isn't one. Am I right, girls? No?
Yeah, that would have
See you
ruined,
then.
ruined all of their all of Jay-Z's, well, all of his fans. I think they're like, most of them are religious, aren't they? No.
If Jay-Z was a true child of God, he wouldn't have had any problems whatsoever. So.
Yeah, I've
Let
got
me
no
quote you
problems and
from
nothing
the
is
Bible.
one.
It doesn't have a ring to it, does it? I have no problems.
I don't know why God would create coronavirus in the first place, but I mean, he knows everything, so.
Yeah, that's the banger, isn't it? Like,
He's
you
got
just
it
gotta
all,
use that one.
all
Have
figured out.
any of you guys seen the, I think it's Love Letters to Richard Dawkins on YouTube?
No?
No.
I had somebody I know who was kind of showing me bits and pieces. That guy was like a walking dictionary. He could just recite knowledge.
It's a must. Honestly, write it down. Love Letters to Richard Dawkins. It's obviously people who absolutely hate his guts and want him dead, but they're all writing in to say how much they hate what he talks about, but they really, really do say some terrible things about him, being sodomized and burning in hell. And he sort of always comes back with these are people that are supposed to be God-loving people.
Yeah.
And this is what they want. This is what they want to happen to me. And
Yeah.
it's absolute. It's a pure joy to watch.
Have you?
It
Has anyone ever?
stinks of the Westboro Baptist Church, doesn't it? That kind of vibe.
Yeah. Has anyone ever seen that
Christian.
video of how a religious believing person, and I just realised we should probably say at the top, if you believe in religion, that's absolutely fine. If you're atheist, if you're agnostic, whatever, if you're religious. But there's a video of like a Christian explaining how the banana is an atheist's nightmare, and he describes in detail how banana is proof that God exists because God has made the perfect snack, and it's like a ring pull top. Like, and he'd go, if you just literally Google the banana and atheist nightmare and just watch, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I'm converted.
Yeah, that's it. If you weren't before, you will be now.
The banana got me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ken Ham. I think that is who it is. Yeah, I think Tim's actually pointed that out. So yeah, Ken Ham, the atheist, the
Ken
banana
Ham.
atheist nightmare.
What a name that is.
Ken Ham.
Ken
At
Ham.
the risk of alienating all of our devout Christian fans.
Yeah.
let's move on.
Yeah, quickly, very quickly.
Yeah. Love God.
Whichever God you believe in is great.
Whichever God you believe in.
God is great.
Is
Or
a
don't believe in.
joke.
Or don't believe in. That's fine.
Or
as well.
don't.
Or
Or aren't sure about.
Yeah, then that is absolutely fine. That's like
Believe
moving on.
in yourself.
What was I going to say? Who's the most famous person you've seen?
Bring it back.
Yeah,
Straight
Tristan,
on to that. Yeah.
Who's the most famous person you've seen in Northampton?
Bearing in mind, caveat to that.
Yeah.
In the last few episodes, we have had some absolute zingers, and the lower down the rung of celebrity, the better, really.
Yeah.
Is this
Examples,
actually
Dean Gaffney.
like? We can't obviously say this is somebody you've just seen wandering around.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they were performing at Derngate or the Road Mender or something, and maybe it's not that good. But if you've seen them wandering around Northampton, the most famous person you've seen idling about,
Was it
I
the guy
feel
from
like-
X Factor?
Sorry,
Stavros
Marcus, what?
Flatley? Is that a guy from Britain's Got Talent or something? Stavros Flatley, they're kind of big.
Yes. Yeah.
Is he the
I
one
saw-
that like made his kid dance along with him?
That's
Yeah.
the one, yeah.
Yeah, him and his kid. I got the double bubble. They were sat by the already infamous water fountain near Nando's.
Just
in
chilling.
in the town centre. Yeah, my
That's
dad
a good
pointed him
one.
out, and I was like, "All right, okay."
Legend.
Stavros Flatley.
That's a man and his son.
I didn't
Oh.
have a pen on me, unfortunately.
That-
Otherwise, I'd have evidence. But
We did have. Well, I tell you what. Actually, in Edinburgh Festival last year, I went really mad for spotting. His name's escaped me now. Who's the art critic for the one with the bald head and the hair at the side?
Gumper.
Who? Yeah, saw him, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Will Gompertz," like
Yeah.
that. He was just walking down the alley. I was like, "I love you, mate." I said, "I think you're really cool," and I said, "Can I have my photograph taken with you?" I've never done that ever, but Will Gompertz. There's something about him. He's very approachable, and he was like, "Yeah," like that. And he sort of shook my hand, and we had a couple of pictures taken. And he was like really, really cool. But we did have a guy come to the salon, and he did pop his head in to get his hair cut. It was a Saturday morning, and he said, "Is there any chance to get my hair cut?" And I was like, "Oh no, mate, sorry, we're fully booked." And then when he went, all the girls were like, "Oh, that's such and such from Coronation Street." I think it was Josh at the time or something like that. So I turned him away anyway.
Yeah. That's cool.
I just had to Google who Will Gompertz is, but you could have done him a few favors, to be honest, with some scissors.
Oh, I tell you what, if my hair goes like that, I shall be well happy, mate.
I don't get that.
I've got an update, by the way. I've got a new Northampton. I spotted them literally at the weekend in Northampton. New person. The only thing is, I don't know his real name. I only know characters that he's played. So that is the issue that we do have when I describe this person.
Yeah,
Let's
but
work
we
it out.
always mention the butler from Fresh Prince and haven't bothered to Google his.
And we
fucking
say
name,
Jet
have
from
we?
Gladiators as well. So
Yeah.
does anyone remember the show? Marcus won't, because he's too young instantly. I can tell you this off the bat. There was a show on ITV called The Vice. Does anyone remember that as like a crime TV show? Okay, this guy, he was Dougie from The Vice, but he is also in Band of Brothers, and he's now in a show on ITV, that Vander...
Oh, he's from Northampton.
He's from Northampton.
Oh, you're talking about Mark Warren?
Mark
Yeah,
Warren,
yeah.
yeah. He was in Waitrose when I was walking around, and he kept
Yeah.
2 meters away from me. I think because
Back to
I
Google.
spotted who he was, and he kind of did a double take, like, "Oh, this guy knows who I am. I better move away." And obviously, social distancing came into his favour, because I would have gone Dougie from The Vice if I got near him, basically.
He came into PMT when I was working there and bought a guitar.
Oh,
Yeah, he bought a
nice.
guitar for his niece as a birthday present.
Hang on a minute. Who else bought a guitar? You've missed one that you've never spoken about. That's just reminded me. You have another one. Who bought a guitar in PMT?
Oh,
Come on.
Warren.
Well, it was John Joe O'Toole, but that's cool.
No. Or they returned a guitar.
It was Andrew Convey.
No, it wasn't. I wish. God. No, I've got a free amp. Anyway, no, it was one of the Saturdays.
Oh, Una Healy. Yeah, sure. She lived in Northampton for a bit. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you didn't mention that one before.
Well, yeah, she was married to a Saints player, so she brought in a guitar and I restrung her Taylor. Yeah,
Sorry?
which is the euphemism for
what?
nothing at all, guys. Get your heads out the gutter. I restrung her
Disgusting.
GS Mini.
If you wanted to
wow.
know, Andy,
Guitar.
The Vice came out when I was 3, just in case you wanted to know.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I really did want to know that. I
How
really
old
did
are
want
you
to know that.
now?
I'm 24, I think. I have no concept of bringing calendarism or clocks. I'm nocturnal.
Hey,
Andy,
you're going to make that work. That phrase is going to work. We're going
I'm
to
How
gonna
long
push it.
till we
I'm
can
gonna
say
push
age is
I do,
construct?
I did, because she hasn't been in for a little while, but I did cut Mark Warren's mum's hair for years and years and years and years and years. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Bang
There's
it.
a little
And
link.
you know Mark Warren from Hustle. You know, remember
Yeah,
that
Hustle.
show?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that's the other one. I know him from Band of Brothers, because I love Band of
Yeah.
Brothers, and he's
He goes blind, doesn't he?
Yeah,
in
he
Band of
that's
Brothers?
right.
Yeah.
Blythe.
Yeah.
Private Blythe.
Blythe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great
Excellent chat
episode
for
of the
Band of
show.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've just got to point out, yes, I shop in Waitrose. There's a few comments in the chat. It's a local shop to me. It's not out of choice. It's just locale. It's very local.
Yeah.
Yeah, where else can
So-
you get your pink lemonade and sushi from? So,
Fucking loaded.
What actually makes supermarkets better? Like, seriously.
the clientele.
Just
and
the
Waitrose,
people
makes
that's
me wanna
in there.
stop there.
I will pay more to not be near someone who stinks. That's what it's basically saying.
I mean, don't get me wrong. My lockdown supermarket trips have been pleasant compared to some people's. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
I don't care.
It's
Throw me in with.
orderly. It's
Yeah.
very orderly.
And the chauffeur went in and got it
First
for
thing
you, did he?
I
Yeah.
thought about the first thing I thought when I went to Waitrose. I'll say it. There you go. The first day on lockdown, my God, I thought, if it's like this forevermore, bring it on, because I didn't mind queuing. I didn't mind the fact there was only 15 people in the shop at one time. I didn't mind any of it. I thought this is just pure loveliness.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed the fact that people had to stay 2 meters away from me. Get the fuck back.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
Yeah,
it as well.
definitely.
We've done things really backwards, haven't we? We've done all of our.
Yeah, it's because I wanted to get us off religion talk.
Yeah, fair enough. So, while we're aware of what the fuck's going on, Marcus, you up for giving us another song?
Sure. If there's ever any chat, I'll just quickly whip out the guitar.
Go and get the guitar.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Get the guitar.
What you got?
I think I'm going to play Say Something for you. I'm going to try and do it in a little bit of a
Oh, yes.
little bit of a different style.
Yeah. Cool. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Milky Mama from Shilpa Shetty, ladies and gentlemen.
This song is called Say Nothing. Life ain't as fun as it looked in the brochure. People on what they seem unsure. I want my money back, system don't work for me. Inferiority, got you here, you're free. System don't work for me. Inferiority, be something, be you. And I don't know what to say. You don't care anyway. Say something, say something. I don't know what to say. You don't care anyway. Say something, say something. People aren't raised how they ought to be. Full accommodation, take it out on me. You were allowed to cry. I read it on the sign. System don't work for me. Inferiority, cut your hair, you agree. System don't work for me. Ain't got no self-esteem. Be something, be unique. And I don't know what to say. You don't care anyway. Say something, say something. I don't know what to say. You don't care anyway. Say something, say something. I don't know what to say. You don't care anyway. Say something. I'm grumbling. He was led astray. Your bed anyway. Without him, without. He knows what to say. I don't care anyway. I hold my independence. He threw your heart away, but it's stronger today without. Shaking off that hand cramp, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna hit you with a big chorus at the end. Woo, that's a bad boy. And I don't know what to say. You don't care anyway. And he was led astray. You're better anyway. And he threw your heart away, but it's stronger today. And I don't know what to say. He threw it all away. And I say you don't care anyway. Say something. My hand is cramping. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I hate playing the song by myself.
I was a bit trigger happy with bringing us back on there, but it sounded fucking sick.
No, you
That was
got me
awesome, dude.
through at the end. It reminded me of Cool Runnings, where they're all holding the bobsleigh. You helped me. I crossed the line.
Sanka, you're dead, man. Nah,
Jeez.
man.
Do you get hand cramps when you guys play?
Yes. Yeah, very
Oh,
much
man.
so. Yeah, but I
Sometimes,
get it on my
sometimes.
plectrum hand, which doesn't make any sense. So
That's
it's like
not.
I get it like
How big is
here.
your? Is you play with like a brick?
He plays guitar with another guitar.
Yeah. Which I have to tune the guitar then, the guitar that I'm playing it with. But yeah, no, I get it here like quite badly.
Ooh.
I don't know about Nick, but I get it.
Mine's the big thumb muscle here. It feels like just pushing too hard. I don't know.
Yeah, my old guitar
Ain't too
teacher always
good.
used to swear by wrapping an elastic band around your fingers and doing that. He said, "Trust me, it'll help. You know, it'll strengthen your hand or whatever." Never did it. Probably why I get hand cramps.
What are those things you squeeze? Like a little bar. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I might lie in bed and stare at the ceiling like a dramatic Hollywood film.
Yeah.
Like I'm avenging someone. I don't know.
At the beginning of a montage until the big fight at the end.
Yeah.
Well, I said it on building up that strength so you can jab them in the eyes or something.
I mean, the fact that you're doing that in bed is worrying, but you're probably building up something else. But you know,
whatever the end game is fine with us.
I actually said on the stream the other night that my hand was cramping up. I was like, oh, so just getting a bit of cramp. Then some guy like hit up my DMs and he was like, hey, and he sent me like this. It was like a Herbalife thing or something. I don't know. It wasn't actually Herbalife TM. Please don't. I don't know. I'm not going to get too old than that. Okay. He messaged me like this massive paragraph. Like it looked like he'd ages typing it all out about how to like avoid hand cramp and like salt diet and then change your diet, exercise. And I was like, probably not going to do that at all.
You
just got a bit of cramp.
You
just outsource the guitar.
Yeah.
I'll just play the piano.
You've been doing some live streams, Marcus.
I have been doing live streams.
You've been doing a lot.
A hell of a lot. Yeah, they're getting quite tough, but I'm running out of songs. That's why I just played that song for you guys tonight. I thought I'd do a song that I'd not done before and just read it off the screen here. But no, it's
Thanks
nice
for the effort, mate. Yeah,
it's to change. I was going through my phone before, and I was like, "Oh, I've done that, done that. That's a good song. Can't done that. Just couldn't." And that one was nice. Just got to have a night.
My biggest godsend. I've done like I think me and Nick have played on this, and then I played on this thing a while ago, which gave us kind of incepted the idea for this. But I was looking for songs that I never played before, and I just kept like finding something. And if there was a chord I didn't like, I'd just move on to the next one. So I didn't know this, but on one of the guitar tab apps, there is a simplify button that changes all the chords to like basic chords. Godsend. Absolute godsend.
Andy will always message me and say, I need to learn this song. And he'll be like, can you learn this song for me? And I'll be like, yeah, okay. 4, maybe 5 minutes later, in the most remedial song that he's ever fucking sent or heard, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's this. And he'll be like, I need numbers.
What's a hard song?
I need numbers. So I have to literally be like, yeah, your pinky is on 4.
Yeah.
Your index finger's on 2. I don't know what fucking chord that is.
Songs,
where is this?
I play songs in the key of 3. Key of 3 and 4.
Yeah. Yeah. What key is it in? Well, it's on the 3rd fret.
Perfect.
If you say what key is it in, A, you'd be like, what's that one?
Is there an A? I don't know.
Is there an A? Dice. Is there even an A? Are you trolling me? Is there even a key of A? Yeah. So it's pretty fun teaching Andy songs.
Is this what button is this? This cheat button?
This cheat button on
where is it? I can't find it.
Thing, whatever it is.
It's on the app.
Can I just quickly chip in with music sort of related thing about since the lockdown? I've discovered you guys being like real music heads will probably already know this guy, and I had heard of him, but Randy Newman is like I sort of discovered him on the lockdown.
Oh yeah,
I swear by Randy Newman. I would cut off a toe for Randy Newman.
You got a friend in me.
Never heard of him.
No.
I've gone right back to the beginning. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely.
Yeah,
He did the Monsters Inc. theme tune, which I go to sleep
he's
with
done loads
every
of stuff
night.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Toy Story, like all that stuff. Like it's songs kind of almost sound like comedy songs, but they're actually so brilliantly written
Yeah.
that if his voice wasn't so, it would be like the level of like Brian Wilson or Burt Bacharach. But it's like just because his voice is so
I think he is, isn't
comedic.
He? I mean,
because you're one of those friends.
Stuff I listen to is just like absolutely incredible, especially the storytelling. I mean, like, if you didn't know who he was or you didn't sort of do any background research, actually some of the stuff that the lyric wise is sort of like, you're like, whoa, you know, some of the words that he uses and things like that. You know, you wouldn't hear it now, and you just think, well, if you didn't sort of do the research, you'd think this guy was like maybe even a racist or something like that. But like the work is amazing, and just like the depth of what he writes is incredible. I mean, like
from A to B, from A to B of his songs is so brilliantly concise. Yeah, like the storytelling is so quick and easy to follow. Obviously, I mean, it's most of the songs are 4-minute pop songs, but that's how it works. But the way he managed to tell the story in that level of detail is always impressive. He's on the level with Brian Wilson and Burt Bacharach for me. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love that orchestral side of the music as well.
Yeah.
One of my favourite albums for many years was a little bit of Schmilson, a Harry Nilsson album, which is all sort of like a beautifully orchestrated, very sort of up and down, sweeping, melodic album of just absolutely incredible covers. They're all covers, but like just really, really beautiful album that as well. Yeah,
it's a good one. It's a good one.
I'm enjoying that. I think every time we bring up a reference, Marcus Googles it.
You're actually spot on there. So, yeah,
educational. You know,
who, Bert? What? Can you? Bert? Who? Say it again.
Yeah,
I got 82 tabs open.
Jason, I wanted to ask you about your screenwriting. We briefly touched on it, but I know shortly before the lockdown and all this coronavirus stuff happened, you had something of a writing retreat, and I'm curious to see where you are and how you've progressed or what you've done.
Well, that was incredible. Probably like I might have told you, I went to Wales for about 5-6 days on my own, with no. So I've got a friend who's got a place that's kind of like just sort of in the middle of nowhere. I've been attempting this kind of writing screenplays for a little while. Went away, and it was. I mean, I did open up an Instagram account called Writing for Screen, which I documented pretty much every day while I was there, and there was one particular day where I think like everything had fallen away, like all the stress and normal day-to-day life and work and all that sort of stuff. And I woke up and I just thought my mind was completely clear of anything. Like I've never ever felt like that in my entire life. It was I don't know. I found it very sort of, well, at the time, I think I expressed it quite well in the video, but like thinking back now, it was just, it was insane. Just that pure clarity of mind. And so I was writing, and I got to the very last day and I'd finished what I'd set out to do while I was there, like a short, like 20-minute film. And while I was sat there in the evening, it was about 9 o'clock, I cut and paste everything, and the screen had frozen, and I, not knowing anything about computers or technology, I started hitting loads of buttons because I didn't really know what to do. Hit the delete button, gone. Like all that work that I put in hours a day, and like I probably said to you, Josh, I think it was the best screenplay ever written.
It must have been.
Yeah, but there's like an adage that songwriters use, that if you don't remember it, it wasn't good enough. So like, there's parts that you can remember.
Because I mean, I totally did think that this was a good piece of work, but I did try to revisit it when I got home, but it just wouldn't come.
But there wasn't even like little bits of it that you remembered. That...
Yeah, there's plenty that I remember, but
yeah,
it was just,
cool.
It was just, it's not so much. There's sort of like scenes that you remember that are like quite integral scenes that are, you know, important scenes, but it's the build up to those scenes which were almost more important, because to write something sort of, you know, big or whatever is actually not that hard. It's the actual bits in between that where you're trying to progress the story that are the hardest bits. And
it's a bit like starting with a punchline and then a joke, and then
imagine it's deleting all of your character arcs and all these little intricate details. That would be the bit that would be hard to get back. Like,
I mean, if you've written a song and you just sort of thought at the end of that song, my God, I can't believe I've just written that song, and then accidentally deleted it. It's the same thing, and you know, you're never going to get it back.
So
it's like my it's like
dark moment in time here, everyone.
Yeah. I was saying,
the video I made the next day, I actually did almost cry. And I thought, I just posted it. I was like, but halfway through it, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to cope with this.
I don't know if Nick and Marcus can attest to this, but I certainly do, and I suppose it's a bit different if you're screenwriting. But my phone is just full of voice notes of me humming, like, and I remember thinking one day I looked and I had like 60 voice notes, all like, you know, a second to, you know, sometimes like 2 minutes long. And I remember like going through them all, and there's so much shit of me and I must look like a nutter as well, walking down the road going like, you know, trying to like
the amount of voice notes that, because the iPhone, when you do them, when you record the voice notes, it tells you where you were at the time. And the amount of
They've
times
changed, haven't they?
like,
I hate that.
The toilet at work. And obviously it doesn't say that specifically, but it says like,
you know, the time,
gives you the postcode and like where you were. Like, I was definitely on the toilet when I did that. But I've always thought about how funny it would be to do like the anatomy of a song, where I've done a voice note on the phone, then I've done a more elaborate voice note, then I've done like an acoustic thing and recorded that to remember it, then I've done a demo, and I've sent the demo to Tommy. Tommy's finished it, made it better, and then I've done a full production demo. Then I've sent it to the producer, and the producer's gone, it's shit, and then it stopped. And then the producer makes it much better, and then you end up mixing it and recording it, and it's sick. And there's a ton of fucking tunes that are like that, and it would be really interesting actually to see people's perspective on each step of the journey, and how like they hear the first one and go, Jesus Christ, Nick, you thought that was a good one.
I think,
and then it ends up being a good song.
I think that's one of the things that you if you've not written a song or a book or even painted a picture or whatever it was, you just see the end product and it feels like such a complete, well thought out work. It feels like it's like you can't understand how it got to that point, and rightly so, because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of steps along the way. You don't know that.
Yeah, you could have zigged instead of zagged, and it could be a different thing.
Like the film Sliding Doors.
Can I just
give
you another little sort of
hang on. Jason, just one sec. Marcus, go on.
Do you have a voice note, Marcus?
Don't worry, it's only 10 seconds long, and I think I was onto something at the 20th of February 2019.
Better be good.
What the fuck is that? That's like the Lord of the Rings theme tune or something.
That is what my phone is full of.
Yeah, my phone is full of
that.
Throw a 4/4 on that and you're banging.
Done.
Send it to Tommy, he'll make it good. Right, Jason, what you were going to say? Sorry. Yeah.
So Josh, I think it was Josh, you were saying about sort of like, we see the masterpiece or the really good finished product or whatever it is, the shit product at the end. But, you know, when you watch something and you think, how do they do that? Well, I was watching this this NHK Japanese YouTube channel, and it's got Hayao Miyazaki. He draws or directs a lot of the Ghibli films, and it's like 4 episodes about an hour long, and they sort of followed him for 10 years. And you realise that these masterpieces, like 1 and 2, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, things like that, you realise that this guy, he was like, it's all hand drawn, all this stuff by various different artists, but it's all his idea. He would throw a drawing away, which you'd look at and think, oh my God, that is incredible drawing. But he just tossed it away. Yeah. And he was full and he was racked with this this block all the way through it. And you just think, this is a genius, this guy. What they produce is just amazing work. But yet you watch the build up to it, and it made any artist out there who is struggling to create, who thinks, why can't I do this, should watch this, because like you just think, oh my God, it's normal, it's totally fine. It happens to the best people in the world, you know. And it really made me think, when I was doing my drawing, I just thought, if I'm making a mistake or something, like normally I would never do this, but with drawing you can just rub it out and do it again. And that's really been a lesson to me, not to worry about that. You can redo it and it's fine.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely what's hard about being in a band. Like, you've not only got your own opinion, you've got however many other band members there are. So like you can have like, this has happened to me as well. Like, I've wrote a song, I've been like, this is the best song ever written, ever. And I'll take it to the band and they're all like, nah. And it's like, oh, please. Yes. It's a bit disheartening, but you know, everyone's got different.
Do you try and convince them it's the best song ever, or do you just, that's it? If they don't agree, that's it.
Well, it's a bit like trying to get, you know, Andy to like the Beatles or something. It's like it should just be the case, but apparently no, you can't change it.
Yeah. They're only the band. They're just a wannabe Wings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you leave this video?
I was doing that though. Marcus put up a few weeks ago. He was like, "Hey guys, I'm going to cover some Beatles songs. Like, let me know." And I just kept sending Wings songs, and eventually he just stopped replying to me.
I did.
The joke stopped being funny. Yeah,
flogging a dead horse for that one.
No, because both Beatles and Wings are amazing. Why don't you start, Andy, with the greatest hits of the Beatles and then just work your way down?
Okay.
It has to be the greatest hits.
Yeah, I'd have to say the best of the Beatles, Volume 2.
Before this devolves into Partridge quotes, let's because I will definitely beat you all. This,
you will.
True.
We've already used the most famous person you've seen in Northampton question, but how about Netflix recommendations? I think.
Yeah, let's do that.
I haven't watched anything new. I've got to be honest. I'm still rewatching The Sopranos because they're an hour long and it takes forever. But it's bloody brilliant. So let's ask the guest this week. So Jason, what have you been watching or listening to that's interesting?
Right. Okay. I just happen to have Netflix right in front of me. So, but I would say that. Like I was just saying about the Ghibli films, they're all on there now.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
They're very, very, very much worth a watch. We did. There's been a lot of hype about Money Heist, so we started watching that. I cannot deal with it at all.
No.
Who's saying that?
That's Marcus.
Marcus.
Yeah.
I'll get my time.
I'd love to go into it, but we've actually watched it into the second season, and apart from the way that they badly portray women in it, it's a shambles, but it has a slickness in the editing and the way it looks, so I can see why people are liking it, because there's a lot to like in terms of the way it looks and things like that, but storyline wise, forget it. It's just not good. Sorry.
And you're a post, Marcus.
You have 2 minutes.
Feels like a court drama right now. Yeah.
I've been watching this on Netflix called Money Heist. I think it's. I was genuinely sit here and say Money Heist is amazing. I thought it was great. Like, did you watch it in English or in Spanish?
Spanish.
That's where we start. All right, Spanish. So that's my gone.
That was going to be your argument.
Always
in Spanish. I thought it was brilliant, and the third and fourth series was the best. But
I think like there are a lot of seasons that take a long time to pay off, though, which is a bit annoying. And you're like, when you try and turn someone onto something, like, I mean, even years ago when I was trying to tell people that the American Office was as good as it was,
Josh,
you know, you watch the British Office and you go, well, that's fucking gold from start to finish. Like, there's no argument with that. If anyone doesn't like the English Office, they're a cunt. But if you don't like the American Office, it's like, okay, well, give it more time, because once you get maybe 6 or 7 episodes in, it becomes its own thing, and it's not like a rehash of the English Office anymore. And Parks and Rec was exactly the same thing.
Brilliant.
And Dark, the German Netflix series. If anyone hasn't watched that, I watched the first season with. I'm very, very sorry to say this. I watched the first season dubbed with the English language.
Let the silence.
And it did make it a little easier for me to get into it. So I related to the characters quickly, and it was a lot easier for me to kind of get into. Then the second season, we went to subtitles, and it's fucking brilliant. Like, so if anyone hasn't watched Dark, it is fucking incredible.
I really loved it in the first season. I have to admit, I've got to go back to it. I did like it, but after a while, I started to, do you know what I've really enjoyed? 2 things, but for the same reason, and I'm sure they were great as well, but different, was Mandalorian and Watchmen series. Was that I had to watch them weekly, which really brought back to me something that I was really missing out on. Was like, for a classic example is The Dark, where I just watched loads of episodes over like 4, 5, 6 days a week. Yeah. And in the end, it was because it's intense, isn't it, Nick? And it's like
very, very much, yeah.
And then I just got to a point where I just thought, I cannot watch another episode of this. But
we'll have a heart attack.
Yeah, going back to sort of like the weekly thing, where I was actually getting like excited, a little bit sort of excited on Tuesday, Wednesday, thinking, oh, tomorrow night I'm watching something wicked. And then I'd be like really hyped up on Thursday, thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to watch something tonight. And that, going back to that sort of like weekly thing where you've got no choice, I think for me that's the way now. This whole binge thing, like I'm over it.
Yeah, the cliffhanger thing, like it, it's kind of forgotten about these days, because you really can just watch everything all in one go.
Yeah, you don't.
That's why the NN Social is so good, because it's only weekly.
I can attest to the binge thing, because I was up till 3 a.m. Last night watching my recommendation, and I don't care what anyone is going to judge me on. I've already tried to convince these 2 earlier; they won't have any of it. I watched a bit of anime, so it's good that Jason talked about the Ghibli films, but Attack on Titan. I don't care what anyone says, it is one of the best shows ever. The first season's on Netflix. Just watch it. I just finished season 3 today. I cried at one point. I literally don't care. So judge me all you want. Attack on Titan. It's so good.
Can we add on anime?
Just to defend myself, I didn't poo-poo him and say it was shit. I just said that it's anime is very melodramatic, and you have to be in the mood for it.
Big time. But you can watch it dubbed comfortably, because it's a cartoon, so you can watch it.
No, dubbed. I'd rather watch it in Japanese and then just Google every word over and over again. Just have Google Translate open, and just stop it and pause it and wait, and then carry on.
Yeah. Have you checked out Drifting Dragons yet?
I'll be honest, I don't want to get into it. Like, I've just settled on Attack on Titan, and I'm not going to do any more. But because I know it's a very big hole I can fall into. So
fair, Andy. I'm quite an anti-anime person. I just don't like the melodrama.
I'm the same. I was the same. I watched Attack on Titan on a whim. It came up in my suggested because I watched Akira. My friend was like, "Watch Akira." Akira.
Isn't there like 300 series, or is that something else?
No. There's only 3 series, and the 4th series starts soon. It's like the final season. 20 episodes a season.
I've watched the first series because one of the best. You know the pushy friends, the ones that are like, no, sit. And you're like, no, sit there, and you're like, it's going.
You're gonna gaffer tape your head to the telly until you watch this.
I ended up watching a series of anime. It's just not really my tea. It's just very like super reaction. Like,
what I would say is, I think it's improved my drawing watching anime.
Looks like
Definitely.
it.
Yeah, you can draw tits really well. Weird.
Having seen your drawing,
tits or not?
Josh,
show it again.
Josh, what have you got? Oh no, you've said, didn't you? Sorry, you said about the Sopranos, didn't you? So
one thing I did forget, actually, I watched Extraction, the film on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth. I mean, I like military films. I like some really terrible military films. So I am biased, but one of the things that was fascinating about that film is some of the like technically some of the shots they've got of like going from running along the road to in the back of a moving car and continue things like I don't know how they did it, which is a similar thing to 1917, which I think I'll text you the documentary about the behind the scenes film, behind the scenes footage, Jason, because some of the stuff they did there was incredible, and I couldn't work out how they did it, but
I was saying to Charlotte while we was watching Extraction, like, I was like, what? She was like, because I was like, I make a lot of noises when I'm watching stuff, whether I like it or if I'm not like it, and I'm like, oh my God. She's like, do you think this is good? I'm like, the action scenes are actually incredible in that.
Yeah.
Like the sort of, like you say, like falling from a building or getting hit by a car, or the way they do the gun scene, the fight. I mean, the action scenes are amazing. And the film, I'd give it sort of like maybe a 6 or 6.5 maybe, but the action scenes 10 out of 10 definitely.
I watched Dunkirk on Sunday for the second time.
I did as well. That's so
on
Sunday.
It's a fucking brilliantly directed film.
Chris Nolan has never made a bad film in my opinion.
Hans Zimmer has never done a bad soundtrack either.
No, he's right.
That's to be contested. But Christopher Nolan has never made a bad film. That's agreeable. Josh, I'm going to do you and look at the clock here.
Fucking hell, yeah, it's an hour and a half. Let's wrap up. I mean, is there anything that I've missed, or is there anything that you guest guys, are doing that want to share? Or I know, Marcus. Well, where can people see your live streams, Mark?
They on my Facebook, and they're on the Sarpa Salpa Facebook as well. We're sort of doing some stuff, putting out some stuff for our new singles and stuff. So they might be temporarily on hold for a week or two, but they'll be back as well because the donation fund is still counting up, and I'm looking forward to distributing that out to people.
Marcus, I know that you're one of the most self-deprecating people I know in my life, but for Christ's sake, there's something that's quite exciting that's been announced this week that you might want to tell about.
I am incredibly self-deprecating. My mum actually sent me a big message the other day. It was like, she was like, up to here with you. I just tuned into your video and you started off with an apology, and I was like, I'm sorry, Mum. She was like, stop it, and then she just went mental at me. She was like, you are brilliant. You are amazing. I was like, Mom. Crazy. I got to be more confident. Specifically?
Yes, Sarpa Salpa are doing what?
We've got a new song pretty soon, next Friday, I would say. 15th. This Friday.
This 2
Friday.
days there's a new song, but there's also something else that was announced
Something
this
else
week.
that you're not talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what we're allowed to say. You don't want to jump.
You've already announced it on the internet. What the fuck?
Have we?
Yeah.
Is that true? I hope
Yeah.
we?
For fuck's sake.
Hang on, I have to think. Because maybe Meg told. No, I'm fairly sure I've seen it.
I don't
It's
want
on
to
the-
say that.
It's on the fucking internet. Hang on, look. Here you are.
He's going to prove it.
Link.
There you go.
You
You
can't bloody see it, but that's the Instagram post of Sarpa Salpa playing the BBC introducing stage for Radio 1's big weekend.
I was thinking of
Which is a
something else.
pretty fucking big deal.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Can we get some claps in the chat
now.
now?
Yeah, fucking clap emojis in the chat for that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that I forgot about. That is something that's coming up soon. So happy days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nice one.
I thought you meant something else, but that's fine. I thought that it, and I just told everyone.
We weren't talking about your butt implants. That's just between you and I.
No, that's fine. As long as we can just, yeah, good. BBC, yeah, we're doing that. Please watch. Thank you.
Yeah,
awesome.
Good man.
Jason, what are you up to? Where can people buy prints of your drawings?
Well, they'll be online soon, obviously, or you can contact me through the NN social, obviously.
Yeah.
Are the originals for sale?
The originals are for sale. I mean, like, very cheaply as well. I mean, really, I would say, like, the only thing we've got going on is obviously the salon is going to be back open from hopefully 4th of July. So, get yourselves booked in. We're almost fully booked already, just because we're going to have to be doing shifts, so we won't be able to all be there at the same time.
Yeah, of course.
All sorts of things to manage there. And then the other thing I'd like to sort of point out is the Writing for Screen Instagram and YouTube page, although I've never posted anything on YouTube yet. But yeah, they're sort of two things. And with the drawing, who knows, because I wrote something that I really like, I'm going to try and draw it. I think that's going to be my next project. Yeah.
Cool.
And for those who are into drawing, there's a great website called I think it's called Domesticia. It's a Spanish thing. And there's loads and loads and loads of awesome tutorials on there. And they're very, very, very cheap. Like they're sort of selling for like 10 euros. And you get some really, really good artists teaching you some serious shit on that. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next month, I think.
I tried to draw my brother. A police profiling picture, like he's gonna get there.
It does look like a police. It's a fucking very good drawing, but it does look like a police
Yeah.
profile.
It looks.
You
I
could
think
be a
the
police
glum-
sketch
Can I
artist.
show you one of my serious ones as well?
You picked a glum
Yeah.
period in his life.
I love that.
Oh, nice.
That's my Uncle John from the village. So that was
Nice.
one of my first ones, actually.
Did you not draw before the lockdown?
No.
Neither did I. I just thought
And
it's
that's
good,
crazy,
isn't it?
isn't it?
Just crack on, see what happens.
I'll tell you what, it's embarrassing what
Yeah,
people have
definitely. I
achieved
love it.
in the lockdown, and I've done nothing.
I know. I thought bacon bread was good.
I've also gained weight, Nick. So it's not all sunshine and police sketches.
I thought going to work each day and gaining a stone was cool, but fuck it.
Essential key worker. Right, okay. Before we get too depressed, let's leave it there, I think. Jason, Marcus, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
guys.
Yeah,
Thanks.
really, really fun show, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
so much.
thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us out there as well in the chat. As always, we love you.
We've
Thank you
broken
very
our
much.
record for the longest show as well. Fucking hell, we're almost 2 hours. Like,
You had me on it. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
Let's keep going.
Sorry, I'm a waffler. So, have any of you guys seen any?
right, the history of the Beatles, part 1.
All right, come on then.
John Lennon was born.
Right,
No,
okay.
yeah.
Right, thank you, people. I love you all. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Don't forget to tag everyone and everything. Love you. Goodbye.
See you guys.
Wait.
See you next week.
Oh my goodness!
We didn't do the Vogue pose. We've
Okay,
got to do a
Vogue
Vogue pose.
Oh,
best
So
pose
those
you've got.
watching, so they can take a photo. So Vogue pose. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now you can end the show.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
See ya. Bye. 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 Bye.